Today I want to talk about stains on our heart. Why is it extremely important to be aligned in heart, soul, mind, and actions, and to remain extremely aware and sensitive? Well, not only because this will allow us to live a more meaningful and purposeful life, but also because it will prevent our hearts from getting stained. But what is a stain in a heart, and how does it occur? Religions call it sin, and the consequences of sin or stains can be felt in our current lives, sometimes even immediately, and not only in the afterlife, if you believe in such things. When your heart gets stained, it means that it becomes desensitized to suffering and darkness. Many people can watch, for instance, animals being tortured or killed, and oceans being filled with plastic, and innocent creatures dying from it, and not feel anything whatsoever. You see, the above is not strength, intelligence, or adaptation. This is foolishness and insensitivity. This can by no means be called progress, science, or even need, but absolute and utter madness and very disturbing evolution and change. The way we become insensible is, first, through bargain, and then by repetition. You see, first, you are being proposed or offered something you are not quite used to. You accept and make an exception. Whether we're talking about smoking cigarettes, drinking heavy alcohol, scaring a stray cat to death, or torturing a fly, it all comes down to leaving your innocence, purity, and benevolence in an attempt to adapt, blend in, and belong. Then, depending on your level of implication and identification with your new actions, new self, and new friends, your heart starts to become stained. And you don't notice it, at least not at first. This is the beginning of desensitization. And this is an alarming and very sad process. For it expands around you too, to everyone you interact with and every topic of your life. You see, the Bible says, if one remains trustworthy in the small things, one may remain trustworthy in the big things too. You may think, for instance, that torturing a fly or a poor bee comes down to nothing within the big scale of things. But this is simply incorrect. And the good news is that the opposite is also true. You may, for example, rescue an ant or a small spider as you vacuum your living room. And this will count for a great deed of kindness within the larger scale of things. Because nature, life, or God recognizes every single creature and every life, no matter how insignificant it may look. So don't allow your heart to get stained until it is completely dark. For this is not only very possible, but pretty easy to do. Guard your heart as much as you can and remain like a child. Call the attributes of innocence and purity back into your life. And you see, this is not some kind of naive and extreme new age stuff. This is serious stuff. For once your heart becomes used to dominance, disrespect, and foolishness, it will be hard for you to be awakened back to your original self again. And then your life, your actions, your friendships, and any kind of relations you may have will mirror and attract what corresponds to your inner state. But what I'm talking about is also not to be naive and childish, but is simply not to allow darkness inside, for you cannot love or worship partially. You see, if you believe deep in your heart that it matters more to fast, pray, study religious texts, attend religious gatherings and events, than to show kindness to the smallest of beings, and respect to all forms of life, whether animal, natural, or human, then you cannot be further away from God. However, if you are able to love the entire creation and unable to harm any living creature by eating it, wearing it, or abusing it, then you become more connected to the creation itself, and it shall recognize you as an ally and support you wherever you go. If you can walk in the forest and feel the spirit and the energy and the life that comes out of the trees, the birds, then you will not need to feel alone, disconnected, unsupported, and lost anymore. For you will always feel at home, surrounded by God, wherever you go. So, don't bargain your connection just to fit in. And don't bargain your purity just to receive some attention. For not only is it not worth it, but also because people cannot give you what life and God can provide. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.